Listen very carefully. In the next 60 seconds, I'm going to show you why people disrespect you. And it has nothing to do with what you think. 6 psychological principles. 1 brutal truth. And by the end of this video, you'll never be dismissed, overlooked, or taken for granted again. This isn't about being liked. This is about being respected. And there's a massive difference. Likable people get ignored. Respected people get listened to. Likable people get walked over. Respected people set the boundaries. Here's what's really happening. Every interaction you have is teaching people how to treat you. And right now, you're teaching them that disrespect is acceptable, that your time doesn't matter, that your words carry no weight, that you're negotiable. But that changes today. In the next 8 minutes, I'll decode 6 psychological triggers that force people to respect you, even if they don't like you. Pay close attention to number 5. It's uncomfortable. It goes against everything you've been taught. And it's absolutely essential. Principle number 1, the boundary broadcast, the law. People will violate every boundary you don't enforce immediately. You think respect is earned gradually? Wrong. Respect is established in the first violation. The moment someone crosses a line and you let it slide, you've just taught them the line doesn't exist. Here's what changes. Someone interrupts you. You stop mid-sentence, look at them directly, and say, "I wasn't finished." No smile, no apology, just fact. Someone shows up late without apology. This doesn't work for me. We'll reschedule when you can commit to the time. The psychological principle, boundaries without consequences, are suggestions. The first time you enforce a boundary, people test if you're serious. The second time, they realize you are. The third time, they stop testing. Most people fear seeming difficult. You need to fear being a doormat more. Because here's the truth. People don't respect nice. They respect consistent. Principle number 2, the expectation reset. The law. You get treated how you tolerate being treated on your worst day. Think about it. Someone treats you poorly once and you accept it? That's now the baseline. They've discovered the floor, and humans always sink to the lowest acceptable standard. The strategy: reset expectations aggressively. Someone takes advantage of your generosity, that generosity gets withdrawn, not as punishment, as natural consequence. I helped you last time and got nothing in return. I'm not available this time. Someone speaks to you dismissively, you disengage immediately. No explanation needed. Just remove your presence from the disrespect. End the call. Leave the conversation. Exit the room. The psychological trigger. People treat you based on patterns, not incidents. One bad interaction forgiven becomes the new normal. Break the pattern instantly, and you force a recalibration. Principle number 3, the value demonstration. The law. Respect flows to those who respect themselves first. You cannot convince someone you're valuable while acting worthless. You cannot demand respect while tolerating disrespect. The math doesn't work. Immediate changes. Stop over-explaining yourself. "I'm not available" is a complete sentence. Stop apologizing for having standards. "This doesn't meet my expectations" needs no justification. Stop negotiating your worth. State your value and let them accept or decline. Here's the advanced move. When someone questions your standards, your boundaries, or your worth, don't defend. Clarify once, then let them decide if they can meet your level. This is what I require. Let me know if that works for you. The result: you've just separated people who respect you from people who want to use you. And that's exactly what you need. Principle number 4, the consequence framework. The law. Without consequences, your words are just noise. You've been making empty statements. Don't do that again. But then what? They do it again and nothing happens. You just taught them you're all talk. The framework. Every boundary needs an enforcement mechanism. Someone consistently wastes your time, they lose access to your time. Someone dismisses your input, they no longer get your input. Someone takes without giving, a well runs dry. You don't announce consequences as threats. You implement them as natural law. You've canceled on me 3 times. I'm no longer making plans with you. Not angry, not emotional, just factual consequence. The psychological power. Humans are pattern recognition machines. When they see action follows words, they recalibrate instantly. Your word becomes law because you've proven it's enforced. Principle number 5, the comfort sacrifice. Critical. The law. Being respected means being comfortable with being disliked. This is where most people catastrophically fail. They want respect and universal approval. You can't have both. The moment you set boundaries, some people will resent you for it. Let me be brutally clear. The people who get angry when you enforce boundaries are the ones who benefited from you having none. Their discomfort is proof you're doing it right. The mindset shift. You need to become more afraid of not respecting yourself than of others not liking you. Every time you choose their comfort over your boundaries, you train them to disrespect you. The hard truth. Some relationships will end when you start requiring respect. Let them. Those relationships were built on your compliance, not mutual respect. They were never serving you. The freedom. Once you accept that not everyone will like the boundaried version of you, you become unstoppable. You're no longer negotiating yourself down to be palatable. Principle number 6, the consistency compound. The law. Respect isn't a moment. It's a pattern repeated until it becomes your reputation. 1. Boundary enforced means nothing. 10 boundaries enforced consistently? That's your brand. That's your reputation. That's when people approach you differently from the start. The long game. Every single time you enforce a boundary, you're making a deposit in your respect account. Every time you let something slide, you're making a withdrawal. Most people are overdrawn. The compounding effect. As your reputation for having standards solidifies, something magical happens. People start respecting you preemptively. They self-select. Those who can't meet your standards don't even approach. Those who can meet them show up correctly from day one. This is the algorithm. Consistent boundaries plus enforced consequences plus time equals automatic respect. You won't need to fight for it anymore because your reputation does the work. The reality check. Here's your 7-day mission. Identify the one person who disrespects you most consistently. Implement these 6 principles with that one person only. Watch how the dynamic shifts. But I need you to understand something crucial. This will feel uncomfortable. You've been trained to prioritize harmony over respect, to keep the peace at the cost of your dignity. That programming runs deep. The truth, short-term discomfort of setting boundaries beats long-term misery of being disrespected. Choose your heart. You're not changing who you are. You're finally enforcing what you're worth. The respect was always yours to claim. You just needed the algorithm to extract it. If this hits different, subscribe for psychology that gives you power, not platitudes. Because this isn't about playing nice. This is about demanding what you deserve.